Welcome back to our weekly update. I'm Charlotte McLeod with investingnews.com, and we're going to run through a few of the week's biggest stories in the mining industry. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and of course, leave us a comment below. Let's get into it. I usually start these updates with gold, but this week it's definitely silver's time to shine. The white metal has put on a record-setting performance that really began at the end of last week, when it broke $56 per ounce for the first time. It continued on up this week, passing the $58 level and nearly reaching $59. What's driving this move in silver? There's a lot going on, and I want to break it down in a couple of different ways. First, let's look at the white metal's more traditional drivers. Silver is impacted by many of the same factors as gold, and one point that's working in their favor is higher expectations for a December interest rate cut from the US Federal Reserve. While market participants were previously divided on whether another cut is coming, CME Group's FedWatch tool now shows strong expectations for a reduction. Both metals also benefit from geopolitical turmoil, which has ramped up due to US-Venezuela tensions. And silver specifically has had various other elements in its corner recently. A supply squeeze in London helped boost the price in October, as did strong Indian demand. And now Chinese stockpiles are reportedly at low levels. But when it comes to silver's latest rise, there's also been a lot of talk about other factors that may be in play. When silver started moving at the end of last week, its increase coincided with a trading halt on the COMEX. At the time, CME Group said a cooling issue at a data center located in a Chicago suburb was responsible for the outage. The problem took about 10 hours to resolve and left market watchers questioning if there was more to the story, especially in terms of the connection to silver. Opinions vary, but a key point I've seen mentioned is that with COMEX futures trading unavailable, the physical side of the silver market came to the forefront. The idea is that an entity or multiple entities were looking to stand for delivery, and perhaps the COMEX was deliberately taken offline to remove that pressure from the market. That might explain why gold hasn't broken out alongside silver this past week. While the yellow metal's price remains historically elevated, spending time above the $4,200 per ounce level, it didn't hit an all-time high like silver did. There's a lot of speculation going on, and it's worth noting that not everyone thinks this type of behind-the-scenes activity is happening. I heard from Clem Chambers of anewfn.com, who told investors that these types of outages do happen from time to time, especially in hot markets. Here's how he explained it.
So what happened at the CME doesn't take a Bond villain to do that. It takes a bit more traffic than normal, something weird, some guy didn't show up for work, some update that wasn't checked properly. You know, it's myriad of reasons, and it happens a lot. So don't get paranoid about evil forces. And of course, it will absolutely go down when the market is a fast market. That is the pinch point. And actually, you know, one should bear that in mind. If you're a trader, you know, you're imagining that this is going to go through the roof or through the floor, and your provider website goes down. You know, your broker, they can't cope with every Tom, Dick and Harry logging in trying to sell their Microsoft or buy their Microsoft. You know, they just can't. It's just they're not configured for 50% of their customer base showing up. They're only configured for 2%. Yeah, so. In real fast markets, you are actually in jeopardy. So it's always best to get in ahead of that if you think it's coming.
This is a complex topic, and next week I'll be talking to experts like Peter Kraut of Silver Stock Investor and Gary Wagner of thegoldforecast.com to get their thoughts as well. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask, please drop a comment below. For now, I'll leave you with a few expert opinions on silver heading into 2026. I've been asking guests to share their pick for next year's top performing asset, and the white metal has definitely been a popular choice. Here's Brian London of Gold Newsletter on why he chose silver.
And if I'm looking at what would be the best, I would probably say silver and silver stocks. I don't know if silver stocks qualify as one of the assets you were looking at, but I would say that because I don't think, you know, silver leverages gold and silver's playing catch up right now. Mining stocks leverage gold, silver stocks leverage silver. So you're adding leverage on top of leverage. So that would probably be my bet.
Rich Chekin of Asset Strategies International is also most bullish on silver in 2026.
In terms of price value and appreciation, I think it's going to be silver. There's no question. I think, we're not at the end but I think we're past midway point and we're probably going toward late stages of a bull market that usually favors silver, right? So I expect to see silver outpace gold at this point. And the trigger was people are starting to buy silver, right? Central banks don't do that. So for 4 years, when it was all central banks, gold silver ratio didn't budge. In fact, it went higher. Now that investors are starting to buy gold, they also buy silver too. And that's going to move faster because the silver is a smaller capitalized market. The same dollar here has a bigger impact than the dollar in the gold market. That's one part of it. Plus, the industrial fundamentals for silver are so good.
Finally, here's Jay Martin of VRIC Media on why the big money is in silver.
I think, as mentioned earlier, the sure money is on gold, but the big money is on silver. And I think we're going to see that materialize in 2026. So if I had to pick one to go all in with the purpose of maximal return and accepting the risk, I'm going with silver.
What do you think of the situation in silver right now? And where do you think the price is going in 2026? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so leave us a comment below.